Yeah, YouTube, what up? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Watts. I'm your host, Watts. I've been going for a couple days, fighting the flu. Still a little under the weather, but I feel a lot better. And I'm just here, Michael Jordan slash Dirk Nowitzki flu game. We cooking. I'm still here. And today, we talking about five NXT superstars who's bound to go to the main roster in 2025. This last couple days of 2024. So I feel like the best way to really close out, even though I got some more stuff, the best way to close out 2024 is to talk about the new NXT superstars that's gonna be on the way. And even though these five people are on the list, I'm a little, worried because of how Triple H books people. Very much so, because it's starting to feel like everything that Triple H was against when he was running NXT, and then they would move up, and then Vince McMahon would ruin them. I feel like he low key does the same thing, and I don't know why. I truly don't know why, because Shawn Michaels, he books these guys masterfully, and if they booked them in NXT that way, why couldn't it work on the main roster? Especially given the fact that NXT now has more of a mainstream appeal than Black and Gold did back in the day. So I really don't understand the problem. Like, a lot of people know who these guys are now, but that's neither here nor there. Let's begin. Number 5, Fraxium. Now I understand it's two people, so it's more of a 5A, 5B type situation. But Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they have the potential to truthfully elevate the tag team division on any show, Raw or SmackDown, on the main roster. And I'd like to see it, even though deep down inside, I kind of know that one of them is going to turn on each other and they're going to break up. I truly don't want that to happen, though, because of how good they carry the NXT tag team division. But I feel like one of them is going to turn on each other, and I feel like the tag team titles is pretty much the only thing keeping them together. And then once they lose those titles, then it might be Grim No Mandy. I don't know, but that's kind of how I feel. But the way that what they call them, the Houdinis of the tag team division, I feel like they can do that on the main roster, and people won't get tired of it, because I have not gotten tired of the Fraxium tag team at all. They've been the tag team champions since the beginning of the year, pretty much. Actually, no, I'm bugging. They had the titles at the beginning of the year, then they lost it to the Wolf Dogs, then they got it back from the Wolf Dogs. But they was tag team champions for the majority of 2024, and I had a good time watching them. They're just the right amount of speed, but they also both are technical wrestlers as well. Like Nathan Frazier, I was up on Nathan Frazier for a second. He's like, to me, he's baby Seth Rollins, to be honest. But Axiom, A Kid, he was really good, and in NXT UK as well. So to be honest, I expect nothing less. But them guys are primed to go to the main roster, whether it's together or whether it's separate. But if they separate now, more than likely, they're probably one of them is gonna go for an NXT North American title run before they go to the main roster. But either way, both of them guys is gonna go to the main roster in 2025 for sure. Either way, I'm here for it. Next one, number 4, Wesley. Wesley definitely has the potential to go to the main roster and win the United States Championship or a couple tag team titles. Either way, he's really good. He's very much self-explanatory. He has the look, and even though he's not like one of the biggest guys on the roster, he has strength, and he looks the part. He can face big guys, and he won't look out of place, basically. Those are the type of small guys that you want on your roster, because that's the direction that wrestling has went into, and I have no problem with it, because let's look at it. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Redacted, things of that nature. These guys are not big guys, but they have muscle on them, so it don't look unbelievable when they facing a giant or facing a heavyweight, Adam Cole. But Wesley, he's very technical. He has the charisma, and he can work as a face or a heel. Like, initially, I didn't think that Wesley could be a heel, but he's actually been really proving that he could. And then if he's coming up as a heel, put him with like two big enforcer guys, and that would 100% work. I don't really got much else to say about it, but yeah, Wesley is cold, and he's been in the WWE and NXT for a very long time. So unless he's winning the NXT championship next, let's send him up to the main roster and see what happens. Triple H, don't fumble. Next person. Number 3, Trick Williams. He's impressed and he's improved in so many ways over the last couple of years and over the last year, actually. Because when he first came out, I don't think that anybody anticipated him to be this good. And when I say this good, he's great on the mic. He has the look. He has the crowd going crazy for his music when he comes out. That right there alone will get him over. Not to mention, that's going to make him a lot of money, and that's going to make a lot of other people in the company money, because it's a business, and I understand that if you're not very marketable, you're not going to really stand a chance in becoming one of those guys. So, yeah, Trick Williams, he has the physique, he has the look, he can talk. His ring work isn't the greatest, but he's constantly improving, and he constantly adds stuff to his arsenal. Because wrestling isn't something that you grasp overnight unless you're like, a Logan Paul or like a Kurt Angle or something like that, where it just became second nature and you just, you came from somewhere else. Because like a lot of guys, they don't make that transition very well. Like they was in sports and they was football players or amateur wrestlers or something like that, and then they get to go to the WWE and then it just doesn't resonate like a Gable Stevenson or something like that. But Trick Williams, he's grasped the understanding of the business so quick that I don't really fear him going to the main roster, even though Triple H is Triple H and there's a stigma around Triple H's booking that I be trying so hard not to really talk about, and I be trying so hard not to bring it up. But I'll say this: if Triple H ruins Trick Williams, or he doesn't give Carmelo Hayes a championship within the next 6 months, there's a lot of things that needs to be talked about, but I'll leave that there. Next person. Number 2, Ethan Paige. Ethan Paige, out of everybody on this list, he's probably the most equipped to go to the main roster. This man been wrestling for like almost 20 years. He's been on every single promotion pretty much, independent and mainstream. He was in AEW. He was in TNA. He's done it all. He went out the gate. He came to the main roster and won the championship, the NXT championship. So, honestly, there's no doubt in my mind that he's ready for prime time. Like, he knows how to talk. He has a great theme song. And after he finishes up this feud with Javon Evans, and that whole promo, that was brutal. I was going to do a reaction video to that, but that was crazy. And it made me like Ethan Page even more. Because at first, I watched his old work, but I was like, But seeing it, like, right then and there, like, live, and how the crowd took to him, and how he took to the crowd, and there's a genuine connection there, it's like, wow, nah, he's ready. He is ready for prime time. That man right there, I'm not going to lie, that promo where he stomped, oh, man, he stomped Javon Evans' face, broke his jaw, and oh, that was brutal. I like that. But Ethan Page, he'll fit in. Out the gate, I can see him going for the United States title, facing or Intercontinental title, probably being one of Braun Breaker's opponents or something like that. And then possibly going for a world championship down the line. Not now, obviously, but down the line, I could see him doing that. So he's equipped. He's ready. He's primed for it. 2025 is going to be a good year for him. Moving on. Number 1. And I feel like everybody kind of already knows who I'm going to be speaking on or referring to when I say this. But number 1, Roxanne Perez. She's been ready for the main roster for a very long time, but I'm glad that they held out, and I'm glad that they didn't send her there prematurely, because we got a lot of dream matches, and we got a lot of matches that we didn't think we would have saw in Roxanne Perez. And we're seeing her versus Julia. We're seeing her versus Stephanie Vaquera. Like, we seen a lot of good matches. and then she's literally carried the NXT women's division for a long time. So I feel like the NXT women's division is in good hands with Zarya, Stephanie, Julia, Sol Ruka, and all of these other women that could really carry great matches, deliver good promos, got looks and stuff like that. She's done her job masterfully. She's really the prodigy. And the crazy thing is, she's not even 25 yet. So you can only imagine what type of career she's gonna have, God willing. Like, she is good. And it's to the point now where the AJ Lee comparisons, the leader comparisons, all of those is out the window. I don't want to hear no more comparisons as far as Roxanne Perez goes because she's created her own lane. She was a face, and then people got a little, tired of her as a face. Not me, but you could tell. People was like, yo, watch. You know how the IWC is. Oh, she's a face and she's winning too many matches. Let's turn on him. But she turned heel, continued to carry the women's division, and I don't know, that chip on her shoulder right there, that proved to be a testament of how good she really is. Because now we got her ready for the main roster. She's going to have some great matches on the main roster, and I wouldn't even be surprised if she gets a championship right out the gate. Women's Intercontinental, Women's United States, something like that. But she's primed for it, and 2025 is going to be a beautiful year for her. It's going to be a growing experience, and I can't wait to see it. But, yo, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who else might be ready for the main roster? I think those 5 is the only valid 5 because, there's a lot more. I know Obafemi is somebody that people think is ready. I think he's ready too, but I feel like he's going to win the NXT championship first. Then they're going to send him up. But he's definitely ready. And like I said, all these guys, Triple H better not ruin. Because he have a tendency of doing weird stuff like that. But I don't know. Yo, leave your leave everything in the comments, like, subscribe, all of that. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here with me. I had to, I'm fighting for my life a little bit, but it is what it is. Had to produce this content. Can't really be taking a lot of days off. We don't do that over here. But I'm going to go get some medicine. I'm going to let my girl take care of me. I'm out. Peace.